One big subject doing the rounds at the moment is the club's finances. And it's nothing new. As West Ham fans, we are now becoming very accustomed to all of this. It's all out the Sullivan playbook. We hear it all the time. That's where it's coming from. When I talk about the club's finances, I'm talking about the message that West Ham are skint. We're going into the summer skint. We need to sell to buy. And I want to share my thoughts on that and where things are at the moment. Before I do, though, if you're new to the channel, do subscribe. It takes 2 seconds to do so. We really appreciate it. We are growing and we do want to keep building our subscribers up. So if you can help us out by clicking subscribe, it does help us and we really appreciate it. Also, hit that like button as well, because that helps us to pick up new fans to get them on board, which is something also we want to do. So really appreciate it. I'm getting really pissed off with West Ham and this finance stuff, to be honest, because all we are hearing from our football club is that we're skint. We've heard it now for quite a while. I don't want to I want to make it really clear. I'm not sort of like a finance expert on the club. I'm not sitting there with all my figures in front of me trying to and be able to explain why we're not. I'm just going to talk about it from what I know and what I've read, and then kind of give my view on it. First of all, my first point I want to make is why does David Sullivan feel the desperate need every transfer window, every time it's about to come up, to plead poverty? I'm getting really bored of it because we've heard all this so many times before, and then we go and spend money. So it gets a little bit dull hearing it. I don't know. People will use the point of saying, well, actually, it's a tactic. It's a tactic to say, well, we haven't got money and then we can then go and do business. Well, that's not true, because if you're then saying, well, we need to sell to buy players. Well, bearing in mind what we're about to go into this transfer window, we know that we're going to be selling players. We know that we're going to be having a squad overhaul because Graham Potter is going to be in charge and he wants to overhaul the squad. So we are going to be selling players. And also, I want to make a point that I know that we have to sell players as well. I'm not suggesting we're mega rich and we don't need to sell players. So I want to make that clear. But I'm not buying this poverty thing. But if you're going to keep coming out and saying, we're skint, we've got no money, we're desperate, we need to sell before we buy, then that's not really good business sense, is it, when you're about to go into negotiations to sell your players? Because straight away, you like Everton want to buy Thomas Souček, and they might be thinking, well, we're going to offer £20 million. Oh, they're skint, we'll offer 10 then, because they need the money, so we'll go. In my job, right, I have to do a bit of negotiating. I'm not brilliant at it. I'm not the best at negotiating. I'm not going to suggest I am, right? But it's part of my job. But there are really basic fundamentals. And if you are in a position where you need money in, you don't show your hand that you're desperate for money, because they're just going to, it's just obvious stuff, it's basic stuff. So I don't know why David Sullivan feels so desperate all the time to keep shouting out all the time about this being skint. It's ridiculous. It's such poor management. I was speaking to somebody yesterday, funnily enough, about this, and made the point of, I find it bizarre sometimes that these people are in this position in life. How they got this far, I don't know. Because, as I say, that's just basic, negotiation skill. Why would you start showing your hand straight away and shouting to everybody that you're skint? I just don't get it. And as I say, especially ahead of a busy summer, which we're anticipating. My second point as well with this, which is really pissing me off, is that David Sullivan is more than aware of the discontent at West Ham. So much so that he and others at West Ham are very concerned about the season ticket renewals, hence why they're offering this whole renew now, and then you get an extra 2 spaces, you can bring your friends along. They want to sell season tickets. That's also to help cash flow as well, so I'm aware of that. But let's be honest, it's a concern. The renewal levels are low. The interest levels are low at West Ham. People are really fed up. We've endured 3 years of absolute crap. People have had enough of it. The stadium's not good. The football's been dull. We're down the bottom of the league. You know what I mean? It's not an easy sell. So I do wonder why this man feels the need to then go ahead and go, I know what I'll do. I'll go and really annoy the fans by telling everyone how skint we are. You do realise, David Sullivan, that you are in charge of this club, and this club's under your watch at the moment. So you coming out and pleading poverty is not a good look. It basically just shows you what you are, which is ridiculously incompetent. So I really just don't like it. We've got enough going on as fans of our football club at the moment in terms of the stress levels. We're all worried about the summer. We're all worried about, well, we're not worried about this season, effectively, because the season's written off. But let's be honest, we're all fed up with this season. We're all very worried about the future. Well, I bloody am, and I'm sure that there'll be many others that are. So the last thing we need is our bloody owner shouting his gob off about how skint we are. I'm just tired of it. And also, and this brings to my third point, we've heard this before. This is not new. It's not as if we're going, really? West Ham skint ahead of a transfer window. We hear it every transfer window. We heard it in January. We hear it all the time. We're skint. We've got no money. We're not with money to spend. There's barely any money to spend. We hear it all the time. This is the same football club that just bid 57 million for John Duran 4 months ago. You know, so I just don't want to keep hearing it. I'm tired of hearing it. That's why I don't buy it. I'm going to be honest. I don't buy this notion that we are skint and we need to sell before we buy. I'm not suggesting, by the way, that we've got the money to fund a 150, 200 million pound spree this summer and we can keep the players we've got. I understand that West Ham do need to sell. We do need to sell players because we need to do a squad rebuild. But I don't want to keep hearing this line that we can't do any business until we sell players. That's not true. I don't believe it's true. Because I'll tell you what, if it is, then we're completely screwed. Because we've been through this enough times before. We know how the transfer windows work. A lot of these deals happen late. They don't happen early. Because you've got agents that want to try and get better deals for their clients. You've got clubs that want to operate to try and get the best deals they can. It's a game of negotiation. It's a game of poker. Clubs aren't going to be going straight into transfer. Right, that's it. We'll buy Kudus, we'll buy him. We're going to be selling our players straight away. So do you honestly think that someone's going to come along on the first day of the transfer window and buy a Kudus for £80 million? It ain't going to happen. No chance. Not a chance. I'm not convinced. So I really don't want to keep hearing this, that we're not going to have any money to spend, because West Ham need to go out and do business quickly. We need to start. If West Ham's remit this summer is to, let's say, I mean, I'm going to pick a number out here, but I reckon it actually might be more than this. But let's say 10 players. Let's say West Ham are going to go and buy 10 players this summer across the squad, and I sell 10 players. We cannot be doing business late in the window once we've sold players to accommodate that. It'd be absolutely disastrous. And I'm fed up with it. You know what I mean? I'm getting fed up with this because it's bringing down a mood, making a mood worse than it already is. We don't need it. And it's coming from the man that has, run this football club into the position that it's in. I honestly, I'm getting drained with it. Also, it also feels like when we get these updates from David Sullivan on the state of the football club, it's almost like he doesn't actually get it, or he does get it and he's trying to pull the wool over people's eyes, because they're actually confusing cash flow with PSR rules. Our PSR rules aren't in bad shape. In terms of PSR rule breaking, we're not in bad shape. We're a club that's actually fine. The club are using the line, oh, we're treading, oh, we're really on a thin line, oh, we might be over it, oh, we're in trouble, we need to sell, we're in big trouble. You need to just go and speak to a football finance expert. Kieran Maguire was on the West Ham Way podcast a little while back. So it's not as if this has happened just recently, but I'm sure we can get him on and speak to him, or at least speak to him on X, and we'll find out what he says. But I mean, I've seen him making comments anyway. But he's absolutely adamant that West Ham are in good financial position. In terms of PSR ruling, we're not close to breaching any rules. So I just don't want to keep hearing it. And then what I'm saying is they're using the line of, well, we need money in fast. Well, that's cash flow. It's different. I'm just fed up listening to this. Because we've got a huge summer ahead, and we need. Graham Potter, when he came to the club, talked about alignment at West Ham. Talked about everyone needs to be aligned, and he's right. This is something that we don't really have. I mean, Jesus Christ! Look at the last shower we just had. Moyes, Steidton. We had Lopetegui. We got people going in all different directions. David Sullivan wanted to buy a player. You got Karen Brady negotiating deals. It's a club that desperately needs aligning. So our managers now come in and said this, like, this club needs alignment. Everyone needs to be on the same page. If you get everyone agreeing and going, right, we're going into this direction, it can work a lot smoother because we're all aiming for the same thing. And already we're seeing from David Sullivan that he's not aligned, because he's going against what needs to happen here. David Sullivan should just shut up. Just be quiet. You don't need to keep telling everybody about the finances of West Ham and the finances of the club going into a vital transfer window that's only going to piss off fans after such a disastrous season, because we're all bloody nervous as it is. We get the results of the football club anyway, legally, every year. The results are going to be published in June. We can get, and they will be broken down and analysed by people much smarter than me that will come and then go, right, this is the state of West Ham United. This is the money that they've got to spend. This is where we are. So why aren't we've got an owner that feels the need to keep shouting out and hooting about finances every time it comes to a period of transfer window? I don't know. I really don't know. It's almost like at times you feel it's a mechanism to annoy the fans. That's how it feels, isn't it? It's almost like, are you winding everybody up? Are you trying to get under our skin? I just don't want to keep hearing it. Do you know what I mean? I've got, like yourself, right? You know, you love West Ham United. Let's be honest. It's a subject and a football club that's on our minds a lot. We live and breathe it. You know what I mean? It's a big, big part of our lives. At times, I wish it bloody wasn't, but it is. You know, thanks, Dad. A joke, not really. But that is what it is. So I don't want an owner to keep coming in and sticking a boot in and making it worse and raising the anxiety levels by suggesting, well, we can't buy anyone. We're not going to be able to buy anyone until we sell. I honestly, I'm sick and tired of hearing it. We've heard it before, and it's always turned out to be bullshit. And let's be honest, the experts are all calling it out as bullshit anyway. So, look, I know it's a bit of a rant, but I had to get it off my chest because I'm fed up reading about it. I'm fed up hearing about it. It feels like a repetitive subject that we have to endure every transfer window, and I don't want it for this one. Do you know, especially this one. I want an owner that's going to be backing our manager and backing. If Graham Potter's staying, which he is, Graham Potter's not going anywhere anytime soon. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's got to deliver for next season, absolutely. But he's here this summer. Back him. Go and back him. Go and back McCauley. Go out there and back his players. And that's what his attention should be. His attention shouldn't be to go on media spinning and trying to go, oh, no, I send some messages out to my mates in the media and try to convey this message of skint and playing poverty. I'm tired of it. It really is frustrating. And no one buys it anyway. Do you know what I mean? It's just a broken record. And it's from the Sullivan handbook. I mean, it's from the playbook, sorry, of Sullivan. It's the same. We hear this all the time. It's nothing new. So yeah, that's my take on it. I don't buy that we are skint. I don't buy that West Ham are going to desperately need to sell anyone before we can buy anyone. It's just not. It's not true. I'm not buying that at all. We've got enough things to be worrying about, and the last thing we need to be listening to is any more of this crap from our football club. Desperately trying to. It feels like get under the skin of the fan base because that's exactly what they're doing, and you can tell it's worked very well with me. Yes, that's my thoughts at the moment. I've got an update tomorrow morning. Sorry, not tomorrow morning. It'll be tomorrow afternoon, evening time. It'll be on the transfer update. Nothing too exciting, but a few bits and pieces. We have got a bit of movement going on with Burnley players that we're looking at and a few others bits and pieces. So a few things I want to talk about, but yeah, I'll come to that tomorrow. But look, have a good one, and yeah, come on, your irons.